morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Because Bitcoin Market Check. We do these live streams every day, Monday to Friday, bringing you that crypto and market alpha you are desperately looking for. I am here with my co-host, Tucker, aka Big Haggard. How you doing? Normally we have Tommy here, but he is enjoying his honeymoon. He got married, so congratulations to Tommy. And he's enjoying that sweet time off. Very well deserved. But welcome, guys. Glad to see everybody here in the comments. Bitcoin, it's been trading quite well for the last 6 to 7 days. Pretty much, I guess, for 2 weeks now. We set our low, I think, on September 6th. So we've had pretty good price action of what most people thought was the cascading down to 44K. But not us at BB. We were confident that we would catch a low in that area. We did. And now we are climbing that wall of worry back to the upside. Still got some work to do, but Bitcoin is looking great. As far as the daily, anything lower. Can we see some pullbacks? Maybe. We've had a nice move off the lows. What's that percentage move off the lows there, Tuck?
It's not small, Louis. It is not small. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, so we've had a 24% move to the upside on Bitcoin in just 2 short weeks. So, pullbacks along the way are normal. Do we need them? No, we can continue to push higher as long as there's a bid there. Of people that are trying to get into, the Bitcoin and those risk assets, which I think coming into this part, of the market cycle as a whole, people will start coming farther down the risk curve, right? And getting more and more risky, as the rest of the year goes on, going into Q4 and early Q1, as we've seen historically, right? So we will see. Time will tell. But right now, we're just getting some consolidation up here on Bitcoin, which is normal. So we'll see what happens. But great to have you guys here. We're going to talk Bitcoin. We'll talk altcoins, maybe even do some altcoin requests if you guys get the likes up. And maybe, we'll have some coupon codes for you guys if you guys decide to hit the like button nice and well for us. So Tucker, what's going on? What are we seeing here?
Good morning, guys. Good morning. What are we seeing? I mean, here's the deal, guys, right? Like yesterday we got on the show, Bitcoin was I mean, still here, right? Like Bitcoin since yesterday, if you watch the show, has not done much, right? Has not done anything. And just to stay on Bitcoin for a minute, I do think you can do something like this, right? Like this is totally, completely possible and fine with me. I'm sure people would freak out if that happened, but I think pulling back to 61, 62, not the end of the world. Now we are stalling out here a little bit, which I will show you why. That was the yearly VWAP. There's your quarterly. Okay. There's your quarterly VWAP. And again, right, sticky area, right? You flip this, you're gone. But wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to do something like that. I think once you breach that, this is just that first standard deviation, right, of your quarterly VWAP, you're going to go for this, okay? You're going to go for this. Okay, and we'll see what happens up there, right? This has been, again, these are good, these have been decent short hedge spots, right? That's not at all what I'm going to do. You wouldn't catch me dead shorting up here, okay? Not going to happen, but I just like to put it on people's radar because
Now, what is that?
First standard deviation of the yearly VWAP, 68K.
And the first one we were looking at was the quarterly.
Yeah, the first one, sometimes it's nice to put them both on the chart, right?
Now, can you do me a favor? Can you go back? Just what does it look like when we break that upper band of the quarterly historically? Um, does it look explosive? Do we get lots of upside? What's it look like when we get above that level that obviously we're having trouble with? You can even look to the left. You saw that we caught resistance last time we came up to it as well.
Yeah, we got smacked down here, but when you do get above it, right, bang, right,
Yeah,
decently big move. That ended up being kind of a top, not a ton of signal on that one, but
right.
there
Look at that.
you're above quarterly right there. So
Yeah,
um yeah, I mean, I'd say obviously the yearly is more important, right? But also we are about to get a new quarter, so this is about to be completely reset in like, a week, basically a week from
right. End of
today.
September starts Q4.
Yes, exactly. So we'll have a fresh quarterly VWAP to analyze, but yeah, the yearly for sure is more important. So I think you at least challenge this, right? Even if you're like locally bearish and you think, oh, we're gonna reject from this high, I think you at least challenge, right, the first standard deviation quarterly, I mean yearly VWAP. So at a minimum, guys. So, Max was on here yesterday talking about market structure, right? Pretty simple stuff, right? Pretty simple stuff. Lower lows, oh, higher low. Lower highs, TBD, right? TBD what we're gonna do right here. But um yeah, that's probably the most important part of the chart. Now we can look at the terminal a little bit later to check the heat map, to check the spaghetti charts, but we know, guys, we know all the liquidity is basically up here.
Yeah,
Okay.
if not a little higher.
Yeah, if
Um,
not even higher, because everybody who's short, like most likely kind of in the middle of this range, puts their stops right up here. So
yeah, I just recorded a video that's going to be going out later today talking about that, like all that liquidity that's sitting up there. Basically anyone who shorted the highs of the range in the last couple months basically has their stops or their liquidations, at that 70 to 72K level. And if we get back up there, we start creeping up towards that level. We'll see. We'll likely see like a classic short squeeze scenario where that'll be our gas to the fire that kind of sends us higher in a quick fashion, in my opinion. It seems like it's just an explosion waiting to happen if we get back to that level. Given that we've had so much time in that range and given these guys so much chance to short, the amount of liquidity that's built up there now, it's an explosion waiting to happen. Once we get back up to that level, I think that's going to project us even higher than we normally would have if we didn't have it. So, that's exciting to hopefully see play out, over the next month or so, which I think is probably the case. We're getting to that part in the market cycle where Bitcoin should start to head higher. We've had the halving. We've had a couple months consolidation post halving, which is very normal. And now, we're getting to that part Q4 and Q1 where, you see that explosive price action out of Bitcoin. And then to follow is altcoins.
yeah, yeah. I think you probably get on others. I think you probably get up here kind of to end the year. Um just kind of looking at it right from a time perspective. I think you probably get up here like, oh shoot. Yeah, we need to be a little more explosive than that, right? Kind of in December.
Yeah.
And then everyone, oh no, oh, we're at resistance, and then we're just see ya. Like that
Yeah.
historically is what happens in Q1 of the post halving year. ETH BTC outperforms to a crazy degree. We can go look at it, but or you could just trust me. But You could just
Source, trust me,
trust me,
bro.
bro. Yeah, I am the source. Okay, I am the source.
Well, let's look at that because I'm seeing a lot of the comments. People are saying it's about altcoins now. We shouldn't be looking at
Yeah, no,
Bitcoin.
I know. Everybody's talking about the I mean, look, here's the yearly open of the post-halving year, right? Here's the yearly open of the post-halving year, right? Here, ETH just came out. That was a halving year, but bang, okay, bang, bang. We don't have a ton of data points, right? But Q1 of the post-halving year, ETH BTC goes crazy. What do you think that means? What do you think that means for sweet old Andy? Okay. What do you think that means for Wolf and Brett and Pepe? Pepe actually looking pretty damn good today, I will say.
Yeah, Pepe is definitely on track to follow what we've been seeing out of the boys club over the last 6 trading days, which has been explosive moves off the bottom. And that's just a testament to like you gotta buy stuff when it's bottoming, not when it's exploding 30 to 40% to the upside. Because you could see now, if you were too scared down there, now you got to chase. Because when these moves happen and these bottoms are forward, it happens quick. I say it all the time. This is crypto, guys. We're an explosive asset class. You gotta be able to sniff out these bottoms, and kind of gotta buy into that fear. Because if you're up probably over 3x if you were buying the lows, which feels amazing. Now you're in profit, and now you could just sit there and watch everyone else scramble, try to find what they're gonna buy. Meanwhile, you were buying the lows, and we've been
Exactly.
pounding the table on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like look, ETH. All right. Well, first, Andy up 225 off the lows, right? You got Wolf up a ton off the lows, right? I'm not gonna take that away. That's cheating a little bit, but up almost 4x off the lows, right? What's ETH up, right? What is
Yeah,
ETH up off
3%.
even the Pico low? Okay, it's up 28%.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Look
take
at
that look.
ETH BTC. Like it's putting in some green candles, but
Yeah,
ETH BTC up 10%. Like, can you imagine what happens
yeah,
when ETH BTC does that or that and ETH USD, right? Pulls a move like this or even like that? Like, guys, someone please tell me what we're talking about here. Like there's simply no every way I've looked at it, there's no better trade this cycle than Pepe, Brett, Andy, and Wolf. There's just not. There's just not. But
I mean, they've been leading off the lows, that's for sure. Like, I don't know anything that's been outperforming other than like even a Sui or something like that has been basically
I know,
trading
bro.
trading lights out, but that's like up. It's like 100% move from like those lows or
Dude,
those even like the 80-cent lows. Well, that's like from there, yeah, from the absolute
that's
low.
a big move. That's a
Yeah,
big move.
yeah, yeah.
I'll give it to
But
Sui.
no one
That
bought
was
that.
nice.
The thing is, no one was buying that. If you were buying it, you were
Yeah.
probably buying it between 80 cents and a dollar. And most people didn't do that. If you were early, like in the Discord, I was talking about Sui around 80 cents. Will was talking about Sui
Oh,
around 75, 80 cents. And now
oh,
it's up 100%. But
are we
no,
back, guys? Are we back?
what is that?
Are we back
Carrot?
on Carrot?
What
Oh
is
man, is Carrot back from the dead?
wow. But I mean, they've definitely led. But I mean, we're getting to that part of the cycle where, things are just going to take turns pumping. Um, will Boys Club outperform and continue to outperform? Probably. But there'll be parts of the cycle where other stuff outperforms probably at some point. And it's just basically getting positioned in those before it happens, not chasing. Um, and that's just the power of being early. You got to deal with the crap, but when things turn good, you're sitting pretty. You're sitting pretty. So Caspa, I have a funny feeling it's gonna underperform. I was super bullish on
The
Caspa.
Caspa boys are flipping bearish,
I
huh?
was super bullish
Wow.
on Caspa. I mean, I was accumulating Caspa at 5 cents, right? We had a nice 3x off the lows, but you have to remember Caspa was only one of the only strong tokens throughout the entire bear market. Like it literally wasn't going down, it was going up the whole time. So now I just don't know if there's enough steam in the engine. Like, is it gonna like go up? Sure. I'm not saying Caspa's not going to go up. What I'm saying is it going to give you those explosive gains that you expect out of this market. I'm not so sure. It reminds me of a Link, where I was in Link in 2018, DeFi summer, right? Basically, Link was the only outperformer that whole summer. Basically, outperformed everything, went on a tear while everything was basically bleeding, right? And then the bull market came around, and Link went up a little bit, but it highly, highly underperformed everything else that was making bottoms while it was going up in the bear market. So I'm getting Link type vibes from Caspa. The local price action looks a little distributive to me. Honestly, I think, which I was excited when I first heard the news, but I know Mara has been mining this thing, and I think the second they got their hands on a huge chunk of the supply, I think it was game over. I really think they're just using Caspa to fund the rest of their business, so they're just going to continue to mine and dump. You know what I mean? But we'll see. I don't know, but I was a big Caspa bull. I've been kind of selling a lot of Caspa for other stuff that looks bottomed, in this area. Tucker was right.
Tucker was right, man. I mean, here's the deal though. Like, I will admit, Caspa was, Caspa was doing this while memes were doing this,
No,
right? Like,
100%. It's been a great
yeah,
hold
yeah, exactly. Like for the last, while Bitcoin was chopping, Caspa was a good hold.
for the
Okay.
last
But
year and a
now,
half. It's been a great hold.
yeah. Like in terms of like mitigating downside during the range, I'll obviously it was a good hold, but I think now is probably the worst time that you could rotate back into Caspa. Like,
Right.
you know
And
what I mean? Like, I don't know.
we've seen stuff up, like we just showed, 250%, whatever. Caspa is like down, if not even, on the last couple weeks, so that, you can't ignore that. Not to say it won't catch up and probably hit 25 cents over the next month or two, but there's just stuff that's going to outperform, and it's been very clear.
Max just fudding a little Caspa today. You know
Yeah.
how it is.
I mean, you know my situation.
I know your situation. Yeah, and you know my situation too. So
I'm not bearish on Cas, guys. I'm not bearish. I'm just saying there's likely stuff that's going to outperform it. There's a big difference. And I still hold the bag. Like, I still hold it, but I've been rotating into stuff for the last couple weeks that I thought was going to outperform. And those bags that I was rotating into are now up 100, 200%, while Caspa has been
Louis,
trading sideways.
that's the problem. That's the problem, and it's honestly a shame, right? Because these utility coins, it's like with Caspa, right? It's like, oh, Caspa to 25 cents, whatever. Like, that's not a big move, man, right? Like that, that's like 50%, right? Like we are and we continue to be spoiled with charts like this, right?
Yeah.
With charts like this.
Not given.
Yes, earned,
It
not
was
given.
earned. It was definitely earned.
But now we are enjoying the spoils, and it's like, why would I hold? And I was just telling people, right? Like, clearly during the range, this was a good hold because memes were down only, and Caspa was just, going sideways. But I think now is probably the worst time you could rotate memes to Caspa, right? Like now, I think is when you continue to need to be giga long. Like, look at these charts, guys. What are we talking
I mean,
about?
I saw you guys before I got on here. You charted, ETH's percentage off of the low versus something like Andy and Wolf, right? What we've been saying, the prophecy has been fulfilled. You're trading a 10 times levered spot ETH long without the risk of being liquidated, right? So if you can stomach the volatility and the big swings, and you just sit on your hands until ETH gets above 10K, there's not going to be many tickers, if any, that outperform the boys club. We've looked at it from every which way. So we seem like the crazy guys up here yapping about it every day. But I'm like, I went through like probably 20 tickers, 20 of the top tickers yesterday in our Discord for our daily afternoon call. And I was like, throw me tickers, guys. They're throwing me, okay, compare Andy against Tao. Compare it against this meme, that meme. Like, I'm not going to name all of them, but like we went through a list of top performers. Andy looks good against every single one of them. So does Wolf, right? So I don't know. I mean, for me, it's a situation where like I feel incredibly blessed. And I don't know how I can position in much else, right? And I was saying this morning that this should not be taken out of context, right? I think that diversification is a lot of smoke and mirrors in crypto. Okay, equities, it's different. But people are like, oh, you need to diversify, and like, oh, you need to, spread it out, But in crypto, that's just not real. In stocks, it's much more prevalent. You are kind of all pinned to the basket and global liquidity and things like that. But in crypto, people will buy Aave and then be like, I'm diversified, And I'm like, you don't even know what you're trading. Like the sense of diversification is a farce. It's an illusion. All you're trading, whether it's Andy or Wolf or ETH or Aave or Caspa or anything, is Bitcoin. You're trading Bitcoin through a different vehicle. And yes, there's certain like triggers that will, for example, like Pepe is going to be more correlated to ETH, but ETH is correlated to Bitcoin and Bitcoin seasonality. And like it's all you're doing is trading Bitcoin through a different vehicle. So in crypto, I don't really believe in diversification. I think, yeah, pick a handful, right? I wouldn't be all in one thing, but I could be all in Pepe, Andy, Brett, and Wolf, right? And it is what it is. Because if I had been all in Pepe yesterday, I would have missed this huge Andy rally. If I had been all in Brett, I would have missed, the Pepe move today, the little move today. If I had been all in Andy, I would have missed the Wolf move that led off of the lows, right? Because all you're trading is broader market conditions through a different, more reflexive vehicle. So it's like, why do I want to spread out? Why I've studied these charts more than any human being on planet Earth, compared them against every single chart out there, and I can't find a damn thing that looks like it's going to consistently outperform that of the Boys Club this cycle. I can't find it. I cannot find it. And it's a big market, so maybe I've missed it, So I'm like, why would I sell my winners here? Why would I sell my winners for the losers? Or why would I sell my winners for the lesser winner?
Mm-hmm.
And I own some other shit, right? Like I announced the other day I bought some XRP. Why did I buy XRP? Well, I wanted to have some cash on hand just in case. And XRP is basically a stable coin that has the potential to God candle, right? So I'm like, I might as well just throw my cash or extra liquidity in something that literally refuses to move and is effectively a stable coin right now. And it may actually pull a 10x out of nowhere, right? And I'm going to make a video on that this week, I promise, okay? But I just, it's so clear to me, it's so clear to me. And I don't feel pressured to diversify because if you understand pair trading and how interconnected this cobweb of crypto assets are, there's no such thing as diversification.
No,
there's not. In crypto, there's no such thing. Nothing. In stocks, there is. In crypto, there's no such thing. It's Bitcoin and leverage Bitcoin. All of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think nobody makes a ton of money. Like, nobody makes a ton of money being super diversified, right? Diversification is what your boomer RIAs tell you that you need to do in order to preserve wealth, right? Like, if you're 70 years old, you should be diversified, right? But I had some buddies who, like, one of my buddies is like 22, and he was like, "What should I buy?" And this is a different one. I told another guy to buy Wolf and Andy, but this other guy, he was like, "Yeah, I've got some Apple, some Nvidia, and like not a massive portfolio size." Dude's 22 years old. I'm like, brother, like, are you 70? Like, why you think you're gonna make it from Nvidia, $1 trillion asset? Like, I'm sorry, but like, you need to come over to the dark side, okay? And I got
There's
him.
no reason a young man should be holding like, unless he's just inherited Gorillions, right? I
Yeah,
don't know who this is, but it's like, as a young man, like sometimes you got to just go for it, And I know that that's not necessarily a responsible thing to do. CFAs all over the world are watching right now, just rolling their eyes back. But Yeah, I mean, I just can't justify playing it safe here, man, when I've seen enough data to suggest that actually the risky plays are in fact the safer ones this cycle, or the risky ones, the high beta plays. They catch the bids the quickest, and yeah, I can stomach the volatility, but it's a really unique setup, right? It's a really, really unique setup that we're looking at right here. So
what about Rectober though? I'm seeing Rectober.
No, it's the same
it's
guys.
over, Louis. It's over.
Louis,
It's
yeah.
over. Yeah, it's over. Pack it up.
Guys, the Pepe chart looks like actually insane. Like it really does. Like I
It
can't
looks insane.
I can't ignore. Like
No.
you got this line, you got kind of your double bottom, higher low situation going on, and then few understand the hidden bullish divergence. I
mean, here, Tucker, we talked about this yesterday because we had some money come into the fund, into BB Wealth Management, and we were like, okay, we need to deploy this. And yeah, we shoved Pepe obviously at the lows yesterday. It was epic. It was an epic purchase. But we had a long discussion about it. And Tucker, and this is not a negative thing, this is a responsible thing, right? Like Tucker has a fiduciary responsibility, as do I. And we were going through all these tickers, and he's like, what do you think about this one? What do you think about this one? They're all like kind of fundamental plays, right? And I kind of was silent, and I was like, Tucker, you know how I feel, man. And he's like, I know. And I said, I don't see why you would size into anything but Pepe here, right? Because for our fund, right, we own all the small ones. We were bidding Wolf and Andy at the lows, shoving, right? Aging very well. The only reason I'm still so convicted on Pepe, well, one, it's epic, and I think it's going to go to 50 billion. But the reason that I personally still hold so much Pepe is because it's liquid. I'm not going to trade in and out of Andy and Wolf with my size because I don't want to hurt the chart and I don't want to hurt anybody, right? I am holding that until Kathy Woods wants to buy my bags at the top. That's fine, okay? But I'm not trading in and out of those because I can't. With the size that I'm trying to throw at it, I can't. But with Pepe, I can. So as a fund, I said, Tucker, why would we buy anything but Pepe? Chart anything against Pepe and explain to me why that chart is going to outperform. And we couldn't come up with the answer. It might seem like, oh, like just meme coins, like it's too risky. No, it's not. It's just a deep understanding of the mechanics of these markets, of what's at play here. I genuinely can't understand holding a fundamental play over Pepe this cycle. I can't do it. It doesn't mean there won't be periods of time where a fundamental rally happens and it does, on the chart, on a fundamental chart versus Pepe, it outperforms for like a week. But over the duration of the cycle, I've seen enough. I have enough data. It's not risky to me. It's too risky to not be concentrated into them based on how they're moving.
Yeah. No, that's true. And I just, like we were indeed shoving like Tau down here, right? And that's why I was like, you know what? We already own Pepe. We already own Andy, Wolf, Brett. Like we already own a lot, right? And we had some Tau, and I was like, we got a little money here. What should we do? But at the end of the day, like Max said, right? Like if you're thinking about it in terms of like Pepe is almost like another L1, right? Which is what you said yesterday, Max. Like you're not going to get better performance pretty much anywhere.
And you want to know what else, Tucker, too? This isn't a slight against like proof of work or even like proof of stake, because obviously it's like ETH is proof of stake and all of our altcoins are on ETH. There is less sort of variables to consider with meme coins. With something like Pepe, the supply is out there, right? There's no like emission schedule. There's no unlocks.
Yeah.
There's no mining reward adjustments, It's really simple. You can look at all of the data, all of the top holders, everything, and know that is the supply that's out there. That is that's the float on Uniswap. I know exactly what the float is. I know, if we're entering into like a supply squeeze or, a crunch. I know who controls it, right? I can look at the top 100 Pepe wallets and I can go, all right, I need to watch these guys. I don't need to take into consideration, a mining operations cash flow to consider, how that's going to affect my asset. And I don't need to worry about, token unlocks from guys that got in 400x ago that are not crypto natives that just are going to jeet immediately, because they also have a fiduciary responsibility to their LPs to make a profit. And they got them in these seed rounds 2 years ago. I don't blame them, right? So it's like there is less variables to consider. And that's why you're seeing this type of meme frenzy, because people they're waking up to this paradigm shift where you're just trading Bitcoin and ETH through different vehicles, and you're going to pick the simplest, most reflexive vehicle with the least amount of variables. There's no unlocks. There's no minor block reward shifts or anything like that. There's no variable costs associated with running a business that's attached to a chart, right? It's really simple. So I don't know. I mean, I've looked at this from every way, and yeah, we shoved Tau at the low, and it's been awesome. Was that you or Tommy, by the way?
Tommy wanted, he's like, we need some AI exposure. And we looked at both FET and Tau, and we decided that Tau looked better. So we were like, yeah, let's shove it.
Yeah, it's doing really well. So
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just my thoughts. Like, obviously, I'm very passionate about it, but I don't know. I can't find any good reason to not shove Boys Club. I just, it's just the data's there, right? It's not emotional. It's not me being like, oh, the memes are so funny. Like, yeah, memes are cool, right? Like, memes are powerful, but at the same time, it's all based off of data. Like, I have 1 million Pepe pair charts. I have 1 million Andy pair charts, Wolf pair charts, Brett pair charts. Like, I think it's a unicorn. I really do. I think it's a unicorn. Damn, I'm tired. I just came in worked up, man.
You did. You just
I came in really worked up, man. I
came in hot.
I came in hot.
Let's see what.
Sorry for just hijacking the whole conversation to yap about Boys Club, but
I mean, we were just yapping about Boys Club before, so it's all good.
What are we even yapping about?
What are we yapping about?
Oh man,
it's Louis Tuesday. Louis, I want to hear from you, man.
Let's see some charts, Louis. Let's see some charts.
No cooking today. What are the likes at?
I'm clipping that and sending it to him.
What are the likes at? I don't know.
I mean, bro, how do you look at that chart, right? Louis, is that a bearish chart? Is that a bearish bull flag?
No, this is extremely bullish. We're like right here. If I had to put us at a spot, right?
Wait, Louis, so you're saying that the bull flag is bullish? Is that right?
Bull flag is extremely bearish.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a ridiculous. It's a ludicrous thing to say.
But yeah, I mean, this is altcoin market cap, guys. And if you just look at last cycle, because that's all the data we have. Like, I feel like a lot of people like to just pull stuff out of the air sometimes, but like, this is data, and what the data is saying is, last cycle, 2017, everyone knows about, the altcoin mania, altcoin season, but that ended. We created a bear market low, and we did come out of that bear market low. We had a nice run off the bear market low for altcoins, and then we consolidated for a couple months here. In the end of 2020, going into 2021, and then you saw after like 2020 ended and 2021 started. That's when you saw the massive run and liquidity.
Louis, I'm sorry to cut you off. Can you just zoom in on that and show everybody where October 1st was of 2020?
Yeah.
October 1st of the halving year. Can you mark that out on this chart?
Yeah.
Because I think as we approach Q4, there's this big discussion about kind of seasonal tailwinds.
Yeah. And
I think this helps further sort of corroborate your perspective that you're showing here.
So this line right here would represent October, beginning of October of the halving year. And that's basically where we're going into right now. And a few months later, we were off to the races, but it was basically up only after October going into 2021. It's pretty clear. And yeah, that was coming out of the bear market lows. We had a run up. We consolidated for a couple months, and then we ran. And similar here, right? We had our bear market. We had our 2021 run, had our bear market. We created a beautiful base during the bear market. This is extremely, extremely sizable market structure here, right? We came out of the bear market lows. We had our first run up, end of 2023, early 2024. We had like a mini alt run, kind of like what we saw back in 2020. You know what I mean? Some alts ran, some didn't. Bitcoin definitely went on a run, right? But a lot of that we saw get retraced over the last few months, and this consolidation exactly what's showing that. But realistically, like let's mark October now, which is basically right here. Look what happens after we enter into October, going, of a halving year of an election year, right? This is what we're used to seeing. So I mean, this is another data point that lines up where, I think we're getting super close to heading back to at least the old all-time highs. And historically, we cracked this, guys. I mean, like look at 2017. This was the old all-time high in 2017, which was a massive altcoin mania type event. And in 2021, we absolutely blew past it, So I don't see a reason why we don't do the same. And even a more zoomed in look, this is a clear consolidation after an uptrend, and prices pinching into the apex of this wedge. And we're finally starting to see, we're starting to creep, guys. This is getting super close. Like we're basically there, and we're just waiting on that meat stick candle to come and just go boom and just rip us to the upside, because we're flirting with the breakout here on altcoins. And we've seen 200, 300% pumps across the board on the strong tokens. And this is all we've done. You know what I mean? So the real fun happens when we start breaking out. Like it's going to get crazy. People forget how crazy things can get in this market. And this is just another representation of how close we actually are to that alt season, to where alts take over, and they go on massive runs.
So you're under the impression that the moves we've seen the past week or two, which have been substantial, are kind of test pumps. Is that correct?
That's like the starting gun of a year-long alt season, in my opinion. Yeah.
And Louis, can you do me a favor? Because you showed October of this cycle. You marked that out right here. You showed October of last cycle. How about October of 2 cycles ago, 2016, 2017?
Yeah, let's take a look.
So let's see October of 2 cycles ago.
Yeah, so that'd be October 2017, beginning of October, right around here.
And of course, we had the U.S. presidential election.
Yeah,
right around there as well.
Right. Same story, different year. Same story, different year, guys.
Higher. Much higher, Louis.
Yeah, if I had to put a number on it, let's get rid of this. There's a lot of stuff here. But if I had to put a number on it, right, I would say maybe close to 3 trillion, something like that. If we do something like that.
Louis, are you a 1.618 respector?
I use it sometimes. It's been very clear the altcoins have been respecting it.
Yeah.
But just a normie trend line of kind of just hitting this top trend each cycle. Something like a 3 trillion, and I guarantee the 1.618 probably lines up with something like that.
Mark it out.
Down.
Let's do it.
Yeah. I don't have my fib set up for this.
It should be default.
Yeah, but we could fix it here. Then I just got to change my settings. Bang.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
What a coincidence.
Yeah, so if we extend that out, You know,
and how about last cycle? Could you mark out just draw another fib from the 2017 high to bear market low? Let's see where we topped 2021. Didn't quite get there.
Yeah, so I'll be a little under it. So anywhere between 2.5, 3 trillion, I think is is doable. So
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see. I mean, FOMO's is a crazy drug, man. It's worse than fear, stronger than fear. Especially when we start getting frothy, things get crazy.
Where's the liquidity going to come from?
Oh, just trillions of dollars in money markets that are going to be starting to earn less yield with rates coming down. I don't know, maybe somewhere from there. But yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I feel like people forget about that. People have been raking in yield off money markets and CDs. There's trillions of dollars in that market.
When you get above the August and July high,
what are you talking about?
I mean, anything, right? For Bitcoin, for total, when you get above those two highs right there in July and August, that region. Or that's March. I was saying like the recent highs right there. Yeah.
Out here.
Yeah, like the summer highs. Yeah, when you get above that region, there's really no looking back.
Yeah. So I'll see at 1.1 trillion, maybe a little pullback, and then continuation, price discovery for altcoins. And that's when we see the real liquidity getting pumped in. Everyone's a genius season,
I really think the DXY is about to put a downside meat stick in next month, Louis.
Yeah, this looks
like
sick. I thought we were going to see
put it on like I'm going to be Will's outlook. Put it on the monthly.
Oof, yeah.
Like I really think this chart is completely cooked.
So Louis, you see those lows in like 2014 before the move up right there. Draw a diagonal for me from like that low through the 2022 low. Yeah, right there. Yeah, that is real. That is a real line right there.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the greatest complacency shoulder the world has ever seen.
This is just
more aggressive than that, Louis. Far more aggressive than that.
Let's get an inverse meat stick from Louis.
Yeah.
But now this looks like a complacency shoulder, and they even manipulated enough to have two. You know what I mean? Like you could tell a lot of this because I was tracking a lot of this DXY price action here, and it's tough to track. You could tell they were playing around with it, but I was expecting more bounce here.
Dollar milkshake boys are in shambles.
The milkshake boys.
I was really expecting something, but we got literally almost nothing here. I even had it marked. I was getting ready for it. This looks extremely weak. Which bodes well for risk assets. Let's look at IWM. See what we got going on here.
The best macro trader that I know. And by the way, that's like I don't like the macro boys, but the best macro trader I know just opened a fat long on IWM.
I mean, I've been long, but I wish I had more to add to it. I mean, but I'm in crypto, so I'm just like it's like beta to the Russell beta, But
I know who you're talking about, Max. He's good.
He's really good, man. He trades Bitcoin too.
Bull chop, right at like a range break. And like you were saying, Max, we've entered this basically distributive topping range. And we're here. You know what I mean? We chopped around. We got a little, a bear trap here, kind of losing it, got back above it. Now we're back inside. And this is looking very similar to what we saw here. Kind of just bull chop, rate cuts. These companies are able to, do business cheaper and have more money on the balance sheet, see you later. It's not rocket science.
I'm gonna steal this screen from you, Louis, just for a second, because I want to go back to this DXY thing we were talking about. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna put up Bitcoin down below. This is when emerging markets catch a bid. All right, this is when they go nuts. Let's make it orange. We'll make it nice and pretty. Now let's mark out the previous all-time highs for Bitcoin. Roughly here. Now let's move it up. Bitcoin is in orange. And I'll put DXY in a very pronounced green. All right. Now, what I want to show you guys here is this relationship. Okay. What happens to DXY every time we're at this phase of the cycle? So DXY up top, Bitcoin down below. We're going to draw some trend lines here. I already have this one right here. You could change it and maybe do this right here. That's fine too. But I'm going to mark out now with vertical lines when DXY has finally collapsed. All right. DXY starts to collapse right there. In May of 2017, DXY starts to collapse in summer of 2020.
Wow.
It is wow. In my opinion, DXY is about to collapse. And this was that line that I had Louis draw right here. I don't think this is a meme line on DXY.
Take some time and price drops. See if we can extrapolate on Dixie.
I'd be happy to.
I know you would.
Be happy to. Minus 10% over 266 days. And then obviously Bitcoin did this. Let's keep it moving. DXY minus, I mean, which bottom do we want to go to? I'll just go right even in here. Yeah. That's fine. Minus 8% over roughly 200 days. From that point of collapse, Bitcoin to all-time high did that. And really, it was like 287 days. DXY had a little dead cat bounce before the double bottom, right? But we'll leave it like that. This time around, say from right here, could DXY go down 6%? And if it did, what would you expect Bitcoin to do? Right up in here.
And those 200 some odd days perfectly line up, which I covered this on the video I recorded this morning going out later today. So be on the lookout for that. But, we basically, if you're looking at just the Bitcoin, 4-year cycle low to high, we have about 300 days. So those, that 200 to 250, 260 days of downside of the DXY, that would kind of match up pretty much with your normal cycle. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and let's just check in on my favorite chart in the world right now. Let's do this. We'll change this color back. Let's go over here. This is my favorite chart in the world, right here. Bitcoin cycles, the previous 2 cycles that we've been talking about. How are we looking? Got all 3 cycles, 2016, 17, 2020, 2021, and right now. Same amount of time. We've got the halvings and the presidential elections marked out. Look at what we're doing right now. We are perfectly in line. We are perfectly in line with the previous 2 cycles right here. This is when we start to break away. And DXY, like I just showed, breaks down.
That breakaway speed.
Take a date from now until the kind of the first tops. I guess you don't even need to take a date. It's on there, right? What's the first top in purple?
This would be somewhere between March and April, right before the Bitcoin conference.
Who could have foreseen? And 203 days that we just measured on Dixie from now is April 15th. Okay, so
let's just go right here.
Yeah, I refuse to believe that we will not top at the end of Q1 locally.
At least locally, sell it before summer.
Sell in May
go
is
away,
real. Yeah.
and then buy for the last, the last phase of the cycle.
Yeah.
I would have to agree with that, because even that 300 days, I'm looking at it, I'm just like, I'd like to be out of the market, or at least looking for reason to be out by like March, April, next year. That's like kind of like my time horizon to look at it. Obviously, if things change, but and that would be front running that by a little bit. But you better safe than sorry.
All you do is you buy between the Bitcoin halving and the presidential elections, and you sell in May, right before May, and you go away, and then you scoop this. I'm not, and then you buy it up here, okay? And you buy it up there.
Simple.
It's really simple.
Too many people just want to get cute with it. Trying to get cute.
I don't know, man. It just feels like it is what it is thing. Left curve, man.
Do nothing. Like, that's all you gotta do. You don't gotta look for generational short entries on leverage and blow your business up. You just buy and you play the cyclicality of things. Yeah, does it suck? Yeah, sometimes when you have 6 months of chop. But guess what? You forget about that real quick, especially the last couple days. I know Max and Tuck were showing those lows. I bet they feel great right now, and we haven't even gotten started. Like, it's all you got to do. Sometimes doing nothing is the play. Other than
Louis, can I get one of these from you? Yes, there it is.
Tucker, I'm gonna need something from you though.
Soybean. Oh, I know.
Soybean.
I know.
Soybean.
All right, hang on.
Soybeans for the soy boys who will not like the stream.
I guess they don't want the discount codes we have for them.
Unreal, man. Unreal. It is half past soybean. So, guys, what we're looking at right here is the soybean cash contracts futures chart provided by Pepperstone, represented with Heikenhashi candles. If you could do us a solid, hit that like button. And also, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, guys. This is obviously free content. We show up every single day, and the mega cap tech overlords have determined arbitrarily that the only way our channel grows is by you guys engaging with it and actually liking the stream. If you could please take one brief moment, do us the solid, hit that thumbs up button, and we can get right back to the show. But until then, Tucker's going to show us some TA on the soybeans chart because the likes are in shambles right now. The likes are in down-only capitulation zone. Can't have that.
They're bad. They're bad.
Less than 50% of you liked it right now on YouTube.
Less than 50%. Louis. Oh
man.
Was it because I said bad things about Caspa?
Yeah, it's okay. I also said bad things about Caspa, Louis.
We didn't even say bad things, but that's just how it's perceived, I guess.
You know what my favorite part about the Caspa community is, though, is I'll be like, Caspa's going to $1, and they'll be like, dude, it's going way higher than that. What's wrong with you?
Never happy with that.
Why would you fund our bags like that? Like, bro, sorry. Sorry that 7X is not good enough for you right now.
They're slowly becoming the Bitcoin maxis they tried to escape.
Tucker, walk us through what you're seeing here on the soybeans chart.
I think you're coming down, man. I think you're coming down here to about 1,046. Wow, is this in USD? What is that for one soybean? That can't be.
Gotta be like a weight.
Must be a bushel.
A bushel of soy.
So you're saying, Tucker, this, in your opinion, financial advice, fully refundable if you're wrong, it would be a good time to sell your soybeans to try to buy them cheaper?
Yeah. I would buy them down here, and I would look to maybe sell them up here, potentially.
All right, we got the likes back up.
And we got the dump right into the golden pocket, boys. Come on now.
Right. Well,
Louis, you're back up.
I'm seeing a lot of people ask about Sui, which is great. You know, Sui's been doing very well. But here's the thing, like, how come when we were down here, no one asks about Sui? Why do you guys ask about Sui when it's up here? Why? Like now you're interested in Sui? You want to buy this? Is that what you want to do? Nah, I mean Sui has definitely been outperforming. Looking great. Fun fact, I was charting this in the Discord around 80 cents. If you're in the Discord, maybe you'll get a coupon code today live on stream if you stick around. But you know, we were given this call here because I was comparing this to Sol last cycle, where basically, you know, you had that run up earlier in the year, came back down 60 or 70% drawdown, you know, reclaim key terrain. You know, I'm right around this area. I'm like, guys, keep an eye on Sui. I will tell our Discord guys, keep your eye on Sui. We're buying Sui, and then bang, you know, you get 100% run in just a week or so. But now that you're interested in Sui, and everyone's talking about it, this is how you get chopped up in a bull market, right? Because now you're looking at Sui here, and likely, you know, Sui is going to do something like this after you buy it, or you're FOMOing in, right? You know, Sui's probably going to do something like this, where it just had a 100% run. Now it's going to I mean, it could go a little higher. I'm not saying it won't. You know, maybe run this complacency shoulder there, and then it's going to do something like this, chop before continuing higher. And this 20 to 30% pullback that you're going to get while the rest of the market starts running, you're going to be like, like, why did I buy Sui? Then you're going to sell Sui down here. Then you're going to buy something else. And then Sui turns around and you go, I got to go back in Sui. And then you chop yourself up to bits in a market that, you know, everything's going up. So a lesson, if you want to look at Sui, I'm not going to tell you to buy Sui. What I'm telling you is look at stuff that looks like this, or look at stuff that hasn't done this yet, or is in the process of doing this. Putting in a bottom, right? Putting in a bottom, breaking down trends, putting in some base, because when you position here, now you get to sit for 100% ride while everyone's panicking, asking about Sui. You're already in Sui. So Louis, I mean, if you want to buy Sui, go ahead. But
Louis, make it real easy for me, okay? Because my brain is off right now. Would you show me a chart that looks like Sui before it moved?
I can.
Just a nibble. Just a little something. Okay. You don't have to give it all away. Oh.
What's this?
But Louis, wouldn't you rather buy Injective at $40 instead of 21?
Well, that's when they're going to be asking about it a couple weeks from now. They're going to be like, show me Inge, and Inge is going to be like this. And it's going to be up here. And be like, show me
Inge. It's more fun I'm hearing about Inge. FOMO into it, isn't it, Louis? It's way more fun, right?
No. See, this is actually a great example. This looks almost identical to Sui, if I'm not going to lie.
It kind of does.
Where INJ, you know, you had that that early in the year run up. You basically retraced about 67%. You come into market structure. We have our key demand here. We're putting in a nice falling wedge, or Tucker would call it a Louis wedge, the normie wedge. Yes. And now we're working on that breakout. We're working on forming higher lows, and we're working on flipping a downtrend into an uptrend. And honestly, this is a great time. I mean, we can still see some of this if the market pulls back here locally. You know, we can see some of this, but we saw it with Sui too. And then you go, you know, but this is an example of, instead of looking at the thing or chasing stuff that's up 100%, find a laggard, because, you know, or find something in that niche. Like INJ is another L1, just like Sui, right? And it hasn't seen that uptrend yet, and that massive breakout. You know, sometimes you got to find the laggard instead of chasing these 150% pumps. You know, that's the key to making it, you know, in these markets. You can't be chasing pumps. It's either positioned before when no one wants to get positioned and no one has the balls to, or once that happens, you find something in that same niche or sector, and you find a laggard that hopefully will perform similarly, because there's no guarantee that they do. You know, if Sui's going to be strong, it could be strong for the rest of the market, and INJ can underperform. You never know. But I mean, INJ is a promising project. I think it's going to do well. So INJ is something I've been buying, you know, in that red demand zone, similar to Sui. And now if it does break out, I'm sitting with the low entry and I don't have to worry about a thing except watching my P&L go up. That's it.
So, Louis, I've seen a few comments that I would love for you to address. I feel like you're well equipped to handle it. But I've seen a couple comments like this. Okay, 44K incoming. It is written in the stars. I saw another one up here. Let me put it up on here. Who agrees with me that 44K is inevitable? I'd say that's the question. Those are questions. What do you think, Louis?
Well, it's very clear to me that these people are seeing stuff on the internet from somebody that has a high following count, which in essence would mean that they know what they're talking about. When realistically they're playing games, or like I was mentioning earlier, like they're trying to get cute with it, when all you kind of have to do is just buy and hold through these market cycles to you know, get those generational, you know, entries and get that generational wealth. It just takes time. You know, you're seeing stuff like that, like the 44K boom posters, you know, and all that stuff. Let's look at the chart, right? So basically, you know, if you actually just look at a Bitcoin chart, rather than just going on Twitter and just finding something and just regurgitating that information, you know, 44K is a level. I'm not going to say it's not a level. It's a key level. It's very easily identifiable on the chart. And it's basically the next level of market structure if we were to lose the current market structure we have. But to say 44K is programmed would mean that we're just going to forget all of this. Like, this isn't market structure. Pretend it's not here. We're going to pretend that this isn't here. And we're just going to automatically give like the worst possible scenario and say, this is where we're going. That's just like, you're missing the point, and you're trying to catch that generational short entry, like the Big Short movie. And you think you're smarter than everyone else. And that's what I mean by getting cute with it, because you're clearly ignoring clear market structure on the chart where has been holding up as support thus far. You know, I mean, this market structure between 50 and 52K has clearly being respected. You got the Bears had 3 chances to get us past this market structure, and they couldn't do it. And each time we saw massive bounces from this level. So just to say we're all the way back up at 63K, just to say 44K is imminent, you don't know what you're talking about, and you're listening to the wrong people.
Well, wow. I mean, it's hard for me to imagine that scenario outside of a black swan at this point, because in the first week of every month of Q3, July, August, and September, the first week of those 3 months in Q3, we've basically had capitulatory sell volume into high time frame support, which Louis has marked out right here. And sellers and selling has been absorbed pretty clearly every single time. So what happens when you basically 3 drive into high time frame support in a historically bearish quarter, and with like a week left of a historically bearish quarter heading into a historically bullish quarter, you refuse to break down, and alts are looking completely bottomed and floored, and the strongest ones are actually leading off of it.
And I
don't see why you would go back down there now at this point. I think if you were going to, it was going to be the first week of September.
Yeah.
That sell-off would have manifested into a lower low.
Yeah.
But it didn't.
Nope.
But it didn't. Right? So I would have, and I was entertaining the scenario of sweeping that capitulatory wick low that we had in August that was catalyzed by the poor jobs data. But at this point, you have a 3 drive into the lows, right? You basically have the bearish equivalent of breakout traders getting trapped at the highs. You have breakdown shorters getting trapped at the lows for 3 months. Why would you think that now suddenly we're going back down?
Yeah.
You had your chance. You had numerous chances over 3 months I don't think you get another chance. Barring a black swan or something, I don't see why you would.
Yeah.
It's
Also,
called
Wolf is up
PTSD,
9%.
guys. It's PTSD. That's what it is.
Yeah, Wolf's up 9% today.
Wow. I gotta re-up the
63 mil. Wow. We were shoving sub 20.
Shoving.
Study that.
So hard. Shoving so hard.
Pepe, another one. You want to talk about charts that haven't broken out yet? This is a perfect example. Instead of looking at Sui right now after it pumped, look at something like Pepe, which you got exposure to the boys club, which has been pounding the table on for the past 6 months. That's likely going to outperform the entire market. Andy, Wolf, all the Pepe beta already ripping. Like, what makes you think this isn't going to go next?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty clear to me too. I mean the Pepe chart, to comment on it further amongst your beautiful drawings here, the level that you're going to break through and you need to break through is right there. Louis has it, bullish above.
Yeah.
Right? Bullish above. You break market structure to the upside, you are going to fly. Right? And this isn't the only chart that looks like that, right? Like you have it working in tandem with others and total 3 and total 2, and you see a lot of like the Pepe the smaller Pepe boys club type of names, like I just mentioned, Wolf, Andy, both ripping face, right? The ones that are easier to move, easier to pump, have the most mean reversion because they were the most beat up, aggressively moving off of their lows, right? When Pepe breaks that August high, Louis, that August high, right there, when you break structure to the upside and Pepe's above that high, you're going to send.
Yep.
You're going to send.
That's it. End stream.
And people forget how quickly you can erase, a slow bleed, right? Because that's what we've been in. You can basically erase a slow bleed in like a week, right? We could be like 1 week from now, we could be 60% higher than here on something as big as Pepe.
Yeah.
And it would come off the back of ETH being at like 3K. Because if you were to look at ETH overlaid with this chart, it's just leveraged ETH. So this chart is holding high time frame market structure as the best large cap meme beta play to Ethereum. Yeah, and look at it trading against ETH. Look at that curl up.
Yeah.
What are we talking about here?
Yeah, this looks like a clear, coiling of price that's about a rip to the upside.
And Louis, draw your demand. You could draw your demand even lower, like the previous high back in March. You could drag it down there. Like all of that on top of it.
Yeah.
That's not a bearish structure. That's a chart telling you, hey, and this is Pepe ETH, Pepe paired against ETH. That's a chart that's telling you, hey, I am holding high time frame structure and I am bull flagging, waiting for my L1 to start pumping, which is ETH in this instance. And when that L1 starts pumping, your beta is going to start pumping even harder. I'm so excited.
I got something for you. There you go.
Tucker, what are those alerts doing up there? Were those an accident?
Don't worry about those alerts. Ignore those alerts.
It's gonna text your phone, sell everything.
Yeah,
sell it all.
Sell it all. No, I think that's like, I don't even know. I'm pretty sure that's like 30 or 40 billion. So not to worry. But
yeah, Pepe's got a 10x in her.
Yeah, I think so. But this is just so clean. It's so clean. Just bottoming exactly where it needs to. Slow bleed. Bang. This is what you were talking about how quickly you can erase a slow bleed.
Yeah.
Bang.
See you later.
Bang. Like, it's that simple. It's really that simple, man.
I have a question, Max.
Louis, I am all answers for you, my friend.
I've seen it a couple times in the comments, but I'm also wondering myself is what's Brett? Why do you think Brett is kind of underperforming lately? Is it trading more closely to Pepe, or what are your thoughts on that?
I think that Brett's going to do really well. I think it's a juggernaut. I think it's probably the only thing on base that you can comfortably size into. I think the absolute crazy mania for Brett will actually come in later in the cycle when ETH gas gets really expensive. But I think in the meantime, it's going to do tremendously well. I wouldn't really even say it's lagging. I think it's just trading more like Pepe than it is, than it is something like Andy or Wolf, right? Like I mentioned, you have a lot more mean reversion with some of the smaller boys club, and we're seeing that. But I think once you start to see ETH pump above 28, 2,900, hopefully 3K, you're going to see inevitably a lot of that capital flow into Brett as well, just like it did last time. Like Tucker, if you put ETH down below this chart, you'll see what triggered the last pump, right? So it's like Andy and Wolf are just early out of the gate because they're so much smaller and they got beat up so much worse. And also there was another dynamic at play with Andy and Wolf where you had all these grift coin spin-offs trying to emulate what Andy and Wolf were doing, and they've now been wiped out of the market and they failed, right? You didn't have competition like that with Brett, right? But there was dilution with Andy and Wolf because of all the scams that came up, the contract address, copycats and stuff like that. So with Brett, you don't have the same kind of mean reversion that needs to take effect. But it is going to be more paired to ETH, just like Pepe is. So I'm not worried about Brett at this point. It's trading how I would expect Brett to trade. If Brett was ripping right now without ETH, I would be surprised. But I would say it's way too early to suggest that that Brett is lagging. It's way too early. If ETH pumped to 3K and Brett was stuck down here, I'd say we got a problem.
Yeah.
We got a problem. But right now, we have no problem. We're bull chopping before ETH really starts to move, in my view.
Yeah. I mean, look at ETH went up 37%. Brett pulled a 6.5x, right? Like study beta, study beta.
It just needs a little time, right? And it's so big that it's ETH beta at this point. It's the same thing as Pepe. Why hasn't Pepe moved? Someone said to me yesterday in the Discord, "Oh, is Andy cannibalizing Pepe?" And I was like, "Dude, not even close."
No.
Like,
no,
they're too big to be messed with at this point. But because they're so big, they're at a disadvantage where they are more tied to their L1. The larger you get, the more like your L1 you become. So that's why a lot of these small meme coins that are like, 5 mil will catch a big pump when ETH is doing nothing. And then people will be like, oh, study relative strength. Like, look at ETH is down 3% and we're up 47. And I'm like, that's because like 3 people bought. You know what I mean? Like the mechanics change a lot when you become so big. And that's what you've seen here with Brett, anything over a couple 100 mil is going to be plagued by its L1 for better or for worse.
Yeah, just to the naked view, like that looks like Brett is in the process of putting in, that bottom, similar to what we've been seeing in all these other charts. We're stopping making lower lows and we're starting to make either equal lows or higher lows now. That's that rounding out you kind of got to look for. But the sad part is, but by the time you get to all the way at the bottom where we're at now, people are tired of it. They don't want to deal with it anymore because they try to get in during that whole chop down, but now is the time you pay attention.
Yeah, give me 3,200 ETH. Brett's pulling a 5x, easy.
Yeah,
not asking for much, man. Not asking for too much.
How do we feel about dropping some discount codes?
I don't know. How do you feel about it?
I say they earned it. We got over 250 likes. That's not bad out of the gang.
Let's see. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Hang on.
What
Well,
is it?
someone could,
Louis 9? Is that it?
yeah, I don't have access to the YouTube, so if one of you guys could type it in there for me. But guys, 10% off for life, any product. We're giving away 10 of them. Use the code Louis9.
Not
You
the
get
Academy, though. Not the Academy.
not
Just
the Academy,
everything on this page right
everything on
here.
this page.
Yes.
And you get 10% off for life. Basically, if you do the gold package, that's every 10 months. You basically get a month free.
But Louis, why would they sign up for any of this stuff? That's the question. It's like they come to Market Check, they hang out, it's free, it's fun. Like, why?
Yeah.
Why
Well,
would any individual want to do this?
The difference is, yeah, I gave away, one or two plays here, but if you actually, come in the Discord, we're doing 2 calls a day, Monday through Friday, pre-market, open, our thoughts on the markets before the markets open, so you guys can get positioned, as well as the end of the day, 30 minutes before the market close. So you're getting a constant update from me, Max, Tucker, Tommy, Jackus, Will, Wabi. We just have a team of analysts, and so you're getting basically a well-rounded look at the markets every day. And then we have our alerts channels, basically where I was giving Suey at 82 cents. Now it's at what, $1.60. We were giving Andy 200% lower than it is now. We were giving base Pepe 30x lower where it is now. Like, these are the things you're missing when it comes to the Discord. You're getting our alerts channels, you're getting our calls. And that's what it's going to take to gain an edge in this market, because we have the experience. We've been doing this is our second or third cycle for most of us. And you kind of gotta stick with those guys that they're level-headed and are going to be honest with you. And then we're not here to dump on you. And that's what kind of I liked about BB before I joined. You know what I mean? I watched Max and these guys for a long time. This industry is full of scammers and grifters, guys. You got to understand, like the 44K nonsense you guys are talking about. Like, it's just nonsense. We're going to give you that level-headed, okay, we're not going to never expect downside, but we're going to give you realistic upside as well. It's a great place to be. And I'm sure if there's people in the comments that are BB members, put in, give a good word, give your experience, let these people know why, they should be in the Discord.
Well said. And guys, if you're in the Discord too, like if you signed up for, for one of these down here, you get BB Terminal, right? BB Terminal is going to be your all-in-one tool, right? You can see there's little rollovers right here. You got active trading with, Agar integrated, spaghetti charts, heat maps, really easy to use. Order execution is coming really, really soon. Louis mentioned here, daily calls. And if you miss them, we record every single one of them so you can watch them later, okay? Twice a day. So we're constantly narrating what's going on. Nobody works harder. Seriously, not a single group works harder every single day, rain or shine. Full transparency, like Louis said, active positions, literally everything you could ever want or need to see in a community. And like the truth of the matter is, guys, like you're going to make money in brain off season, whether you're in our Discord or using Terminal or not. You will. Everybody will, right? But it's keeping that money and it's navigating these markets and it's using the Discord and BB Terminal as a resource to keep those gains that you're going to make and understand what to do with those gains. And you get to basically see behind the curtain on everything that we are doing literally all day, every day. It's a full-time it is full-time for us, right? So you want to take it to the next level. You want to really exceed in these markets. The truth is, guys, like you need a group, right? Maybe it's not us. Maybe you're like, I like Market Check. I want to go to a different group. Honestly, like fine, do what works for you. But this is a huge market. There are too many tickers to look at. There is too much information to digest. And it really helps to have a solid group of guys that you can lean back on, right? It supports us here, what we are building. And again, we spent hundreds of thousands of dollars building this BB terminal out. And if you're in the Discord, you get that as a lifetime tool included, right? So it's there's nobody else doing what we're doing, how we're doing it, right? Like it just simply, it doesn't exist out there. And we're men of integrity, right? We want you to win. We want you to succeed. That's good for our business. And that's why our business has been growing. You guys get to see us operate here on Market Check. You know how we roll, right? And there's nobody doing what we're doing. And I would encourage you to try it out. I would encourage you to try it out, you know, because we have this awesome new platform, BB Terminal, comes with an alerts telegram. We've got the Discord. So if you want to open up a line of communication with us 24/7 to talk about charts, price, setups, literally everything, here we are. And again, we talk and do Q&A twice a day. It's not like a once a week we meet. No. We meet 3 hours per day. And if you miss the calls, you catch the recordings, right? And also, hello, you can pay with crypto now. See these buttons down here? Some of you guys are like, oh, I want to join, but I don't have any money in fiat. Well, guess what? This is less than a lot of you guys spend on gas for a transaction. You know, some of you guys are apes. You can pay with crypto now, right? You can pay with crypto. So it's like, think of it as like, I mean, you're investing in this. You're investing in crypto to a degree that maybe you haven't before. You know, you are committed to succeeding. And I can tell you, it's like, do you want to fight with us in your corner or do you want to fight alone? Some people like to do it alone, but it's awesome. We hang out in there. We got a Smooth Brain channel as well. It's really fun. But again, you get to see a different side of the BB team that you don't get to see here on YouTube. So people really enjoy it. I would encourage you to try it out. And again, you can use Louie's code, man. You can use Louie's code, Louie9. You can use code Louie9 for lifetime discount. All right. And you can pay with crypto as well. But yeah. And then if that's not for you, right? And you're just like, hey, that's not for me. Well, guess what? We have a free BB Academy course. If you like my charts, how to make them clean, how to make them sexy, totally 100% free course on how to make your TradingView charts look unbelievable. Just drop that one. And if you want to learn all of our most effective strategies as well, you can come here. It's an expensive course, but it is absolutely worth it. Here's everything you're going to learn in it. It's really great. There I am. You can listen to me talk about how you need to learn TA and FA to succeed. It's the truth. But yeah, guys, we got a lot of stuff to offer. It's really, you know, it's cool seeing it come together. We hope you guys will be a part of it. But we want you guys using Terminal. We're getting a lot of people to sign up, which is great. And then, of course, you really want to take it to the next level. You know, again, daily calls with the BB team, right? Like this, we do screen sharing. Here's Jackus. Here's a video of what Jackus was doing. You got a chat. You can ask questions. We get to them. We look at setups, all this kind of stuff, right? All this kind of stuff. But yeah, guys.
Place to be, guys.
That's basically it. Thanks so much for being here, guys. Check out the links in the description below. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Please like and subscribe before you go. And again, join us somewhere, guys. Pay in crypto. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Everybody take care.